What's up, guys? Yo, so if you want to know how I travel the world, wholesale virtually, and for example, I brought in $15,000 last month while traveling the world specifically because of this software. You've got to watch to the end because in this video, I'm going to show you all the different ways that I use the software in my business to find deals, comp deals, and sell deals. What's up, Benson?
What's up, man?
Dude, I'm so grateful for you and the Privy team.
Well, I thank you, man. I'm grateful for you too. It's really cool to see you out there, like walking the walk, right? Because there's so many people that they just talk a lot of garbage, and you're doing it. You're actually literally traveling the world, doing deals, and showing people how you're doing it. Like you're not keeping that hidden, behind a curtain, or you're not, just keeping it for yourself. You're sharing all this information with people.
Oh yeah, and this isn't a virtual background. This is for realsies.
For realsies. That's a technical term in the real estate space, right? Is that so? That's an ocean back there, right?
That's the Pacific Ocean, and then like to the right there, there's the yacht club, but it's kind of hard to see. Maybe if I move myself, the camera will move. Yeah, there we go. We got the yacht club over there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy because you can literally do all of this virtually. A lot of people think that they're like location locked and they have to wholesale in their backyard, but we can go anywhere in the world, and as long as we have a laptop and Wi-Fi and Privy, then we can do it.
It's amazing.
Go
I'm
ahead.
wondering too, like how much of this is like real and how much of it is fluff, right? Because you could literally just be here trying to sell Privy, right? Which I would be a big fan of. Like I love when people try to sell Privy, but is it literally helping you to do deals from Ecuador?
Yeah. Can I pull up some HUDs?
Yeah.
Okay. 1 second. Let me get my screen share going. Yeah, because I want y'all to know that like this is legit. Because there's a lot of people that are just fluffing it up.
There are. Right?
Okay. Oh, go ahead. You keep talking while I track down this HUD.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of those things where they're constantly being bombarded with sales tactics, right? Or they're buy this product, buy this product, buy this product, and I always believe that I'm biased that Privy provides a lot of value to people, and it saves them time, makes things more efficient, but for you, it's actually allowing you to travel and make money and close deals. And I don't know that, efficiency software, CRMs, like things in general can actually do that for most people. They don't see that tangible result, that ROI on that investment. But for you, it's different.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's let the HUDs speak for themselves. So one thing that I like to tell people when you're looking at people's HUDs is check when it was prepared. So I'm going to show you the ones from last month. So this one on the 14th, we had this closing. And here is me on the HUD right there. And you know what's crazy is literally every single person on this HUD also uses Privy. And yeah, so here's me right here, Rising Star Investment, Ernesto, and then the JV partner that we did. Now, we did have a $10,000 credit that we had to give to the buyer. So if you read the whole HUD, you'll see that there's a credit here, which ends up being $3,750 net. But then I also want to show you guys another HUD from last month. I'm just going to
wait a second. You made a good point though here. So there's two other people in this deal that got paid.
Yes.
Right. So Ernesto is LT&N Advisor Group.
Yep. So Ernesto is LT&N Advisor Group. So he got $3,750. Okay, so take a look at this. It says $13,750. Now, I did give a credit to the buyer of $10,000. So that means that net to me is $3,750, just for full transparency. And then we have this JV partner here, and they made $17,500. But they also have two people in their business that they split their profits with. So, for example, Ernesto and I are splitting our profits, but we're splitting it on the HUD. Ugly Monkey is that's going into their main bank account, and then they're splitting it afterwards.
So realistically, though, this is about $25,000 in net profit to all of the people involved in this transaction. And you said that everybody's using Privy.
Everybody is using Privy. Yep.
Wow.
And it gets better because I have more. So let me pull up more HUDs, just because I think you're right, Benson. There's a lot of people that just fluff it up. They fluff it up. They're just trying to get some quick cash. But I want to show you guys all the HUDs.
The other thing that you're going to see a lot of times, you guys, is that someone's going to be selling a coaching program or a course or something else right here, and you're not selling anything, are you, Nathan? Like, what's your goal for being here today?
Well, let's be real. No matter what people do, every single person in the world has selfish intent. Even if you were to donate, right? There is selfish intent in donating. Well, why'd you donate? I wanted to feel good, or I didn't want to feel guilty that I didn't, right? So I do have selfish intent. I want to do a bunch of JV deals with everybody, and your success is my success. So when you're successful and you put a property under contract, most likely if it's in Florida, you're going to be like, hey, Nathan helped me out in the beginning. I want to bring it to him, and I want him to sell it for me, and then I can get 50%.
So you're telling me that your goal is to get more ugly monkeys?
Yes.
You want more ugly monkeys. That's what you're doing here today.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to track down this other HUD. I gotta get more organized.
I think we got to normalize that. I think we need to turn the word JV, just get rid of that and just start calling it ugly monkey just from now on. Like, yeah. And then pretty soon everyone just says ugly monkey instead of JV.
Oh, totally. You know what? You know what I found out? I'm looking at the wrong email thread, because it's funny with this other deal on Union. We actually got it under contract, sold it, and then the day before closing, the buyer backed out. So we claimed their EMD, and then we put it under contract again in another entity and brought it to another title company. So I'm supposed to be looking on a totally different email thread, because we actually like double dipped on this one. So 1 second, let me find this. I think this is...
While you're looking for that, some of the things that I know Privy can help people with, number one is all sides of the transaction, right? So there's the acquisition, right? Finding viable leads, making sure the deals are there. You're getting input. You can find investor-friendly agents. You can analyze your deals. You can run comps, make sure the numbers work, make sure that the property actually has enough margin for it to make sense. And then there's the back end of the deal, which is the disposition, which is, okay, you need buyers. You need buyers that are actually doing deals. And it looks like, boy, there's a lot of people involved in this one here. What's going on here?
And I threw Bobby in there just so that I could say that I did Bobby's first deal with him. You know Bobby, Jamil's videographer?
Oh, that's Bobby.
Yeah, bro. I threw him in. I gave him $500, and I'm like, bro, I'm gonna just throw you into this transaction so I can say I did your first deal together.
I love it.
Yeah,
that's how a lot of first deals get done, right? Is they're just kind of like part of the ecosystem. And you know what's so funny is I think I saw Bobby on he popped up yesterday or the day before on a video on YouTube on how to do social media stuff. So like Bobby's getting out there, man. That's awesome.
He's smart. And I wanted him to be able to see the timeline of the deal. So he actually watched this from before, because remember, with this deal, we put it under contract and then we sold it. And then the day before closing, the buyer didn't have enough cash to close. So we claimed their EMD. We lost the contract, and then we put it back under contract in a different entity. And the agent and the seller had no clue that it was us again. It was just a different entity. To put it in technical terms, Nathan contracted it, sold it, and then the buyer didn't close, and we claimed their EMD. And then Ernesto contracted it, and the agent didn't know that Nathan and Ernesto were working together. And then we sold it, and then we closed it properly.
Wow. And then that's right there. That's easy res.
Yep. John Galon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's pretty clear that we're not just fluffing it up at this point, right? You think the audience is like, this is legit, this is actually happening?
There's still probably some people out there that are like, this is not real. You know, what are you trying to sell me? That's always, something that's out there with people. But man, this is amazing. I mean, there's literally like 4 or 5 JV partners in this one deal. And that's one thing I think that, if people take something away from today, is that like you don't have to like make all the money. Right? This is a volume play. This is a business where you can get multiple people involved. A lot of people can make money, and the transaction can still close. And the seller gets what they want, right? You guys get what you want, and then the buyer gets a property they can do something with. Like everybody wins.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So
Wow.
I would love to like bring up Privy and show you guys kind of what my flow is with Privy. Um, there's 3 different, I call it legs. There's 3 different legs to Privy, right? There's finding deals, comping deals, and finding buyers. Are there any more legs to that, or is that just kind of like the 3 primary? I know that's what I use.
I think the other leg there would be, like the agent side of things, like really understanding which agents are active, which ones are working with investors, which ones are just, bringing in, properties. Maybe they're not investor friendly, but they have access to deal flow. So the agent leg, I think, would be the other one that would stabilize that platform.
Gotcha. Yeah, that is a good idea. I like that. Hey, so guys, I'm gonna try to go slowly. I go really, really fast. And worst case scenario, if I go too fast, this is gonna be recorded, so you can always rewind and rewatch. But I'm gonna show you guys how I can find a deal. Do you think I can do it in less than a minute, Benson?
I don't know if you can, but I could.
Okay. Do you have your phone on you? Could you put up a
Let's
timer?
time it. Yes, sir.
So once you have that timer up and running, can you give me a 3, 2, 1, go?
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Fix and flip filter, and then I'm going to click find similar active deals. Just going to give it a second to load. There's a lot here. Then I'm going to go into, I like Miami. Miami is great if I can spell it right. MIAMI. Cool. Now, if I want to get even more specific in Miami, and this is a little bit of market specific knowledge, I know that anything over 1 million in Miami is most likely going to be fairly nice. So I'm going to bring that down to 740, and then I'm going to go grid, and boom, look at that. All right, Benson, can we stop the clock? I already know that this.
Seconds.
Yep, 42 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and would you say this counts as distressed?
Based off the photos, yes.
Yeah.
Now what do the comps tell you?
So before we go into the comps, I believe they are suggesting a rebuild play. As you can see from, all these, like, this is your area. I think they're suggesting a rebuild play. I just want to street it to see if a rebuild play is the best way to go. I don't know if a rebuild play would be the best way to go because it's surrounded by residential. So to build a higher building, like a couple floors building beside residential, the neighbors would get upset. But let's take a look at it. Bit of a tricky area with that major road there. I like to open it up now. Benson, you have this auto comping software. Do you want to take a moment to talk about the auto comp?
Yeah, so comping is really more of an art than it is a science, and a lot of people can get bogged down with comping. It's a skill, really, right? But with lots of reps, you can get good at it. But who's got that kind of time, right? So we basically baked the whole philosophy of comping and the process into the algorithm that you're looking at here, where it takes the major property characteristics like bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. It uses a half a mile radius to look for similar properties that have sold, and it gives those all to you at once in a fraction of a second, which even with, my 20 years of experience and my access to the MLS here in Colorado, it could take me an hour or more to comp out one property. And so that holds a lot of people back. And honestly, you could be the best lead generation person in the world. You could be an excellent salesperson, and you could be good on the phone, and you can build trust with people quickly. And if you bring all those leads in and you can't properly analyze those properties, then you're never going to close a deal. So comping is one of the most integral parts of this whole process. And then looking at your legs, right, Nathan, is acquisition, analyzation, and then disposition. There will be no disposition if you don't analyze things properly, and that's what Privy will help you do.
Absolutely. And I do like these comps because they're all, within the range, right? Like we have a 3-1 1160, right? This is a 3-1 1172, right? Ours is 1937. This one's 1949. Let's go to the next one, right? 2-1 1036, 1940, right? These are all fairly similar to the property. One thing that I recommend is these quick comps are great. Renovation styles will change though, right? So like you might see that one goes for 1.1 million. Well, let's see how well they renovated it. It could have the exact same characteristics, but they might have renovated it to a much higher standard. Like right here, as you can see, this is a really bougie kitchen. So obviously it's going to go for more because they spent a lot more money on kitchen. So I think it's really, really good to like just quickly look at the photos as well. That way you can say, if I spend X amount of dollars and I renovate to a higher standard, I have the potential to hit 1.1 million versus if I go cheap on my renovation and renovate to a lower standard, then I might hit whatever other number.
Exactly. And that's what's cool about what you just said, is that's what the flipper is going to be thinking, right? But if you're wholesaling, you want to put yourself in the shoes of a flipper. You want to think like they're thinking. You got to think, okay, what are my comps? Is this thing even going to comp out? Is this thing worth doing a deal on or not? And it's all based off of these fix and flips, right? So you chose Miami because you said you like it, but in reality, you like it because there's flipping going on, right? You know that the comps are there. You know this is an active area. So you didn't choose, a Midwest city where nothing's going on to look for deals. You chose an area where you know that if I find a distressed property in a certain area, that I'm going to have the comps to prove it after repair value to myself. So I know what a property's worth. So I know what offer to submit. And then I know that I'm not going to have a problem on the disposition side because there's buyers there. There's demand.
Yep. And I think we can illustrate that pretty clearly. If we just click the fix and flip filter, we can see, where it's hot and where it's not. Kind of like the dating app, where it's hot, where it's not. So as you can tell here, Tampa, hot, right? Orlando, kind of hot. Miami's in lava. Miami is so hot. So if you
Lava?
guys are in lava, yeah, the floor is lava. Yeah, but then like let's say you guys are like, oh, I have a deal in Avon Park. Yeah, but there's not much people in Avon Park. There's not much activity going on in Avon Park. So I would say, from my professional experience, go where it's hot. Go where there's activity. If Port Charlotte is your backyard, yeah, you might be able to swing a couple of deals in Port Charlotte. I've swung deals in Port Charlotte as well, but there's not a whole lot of humans there, and there's not a whole lot of flippers there. So you're better off to pick a more hot market. Maybe you want to go nearby to Cape Coral, Fort Myers. Maybe you want to go up a little bit to the Tampa Metropolitan.
Oh, I just noticed you posted that quote. What's up, Josh? Hey, Laura.
Yeah, we have so many awesome people on here. This is Jay. What's up, Jay? How you doing? We got Laura. Laura is amazing. I'm actually meeting with Laura today as well. She's setting up a meeting with a dude named Tom. Hermit Capital. He says Nathan's flexing. I'm just trying to show you guys that it's legit, because there's a lot of people out there that will extremely exaggerate. This is Robert. Robert is amazing. He's a really cool guy. He shows up every single day to the daily calls. Then we got Josh and Laura. That's from your social media. Josh and Laura.
Bro.
Yeah, he says Privy is so powerful. Thank you for creating this superhero strength, Benson. Yeah, Benson is like the Hulk. I don't know if you've seen him in person, but he's like the Hulk.
Oh man, this is so cool.
Jacob says, Benson, can you comp a property for me in West Virginia?
I'm sure we can. Jacob, if you don't mind, put in the address into the chat there, and then Nathan can put it in. All you have to do is just type the address right into the search bar there at the top.
Yep.
And that will allow you to comp it. But I'll tell you something about West Virginia. If you zoom out, Nathan, and then pan to West Virginia, there's not going to be a ton of investment activity there. Right?
You know, I'm Canadian. I have no clue where West Virginia is.
It's up.
Just here?
Yep.
Okay.
So leave it little high up here so you can see that there's going to be little pockets. But West Virginia is mostly rural, right? So look at the absence of blue that you see there in West Virginia, right? That's what makes it challenging. Now, I'll take a wild guess, Jacob, that you probably live in West Virginia. If you don't, and you chose that market, intentionally, then you may take a moment and think about, like, where are you really looking to build a business? A lot of people, choose markets because they want consistent deal flow. They want some predictability in their business so that they can, maybe leave their 9 to 5 or, just build a reliable business. But it's challenging in a lot of these markets. I don't think most of West Virginia that we have direct to MLS. But this is a challenging area.
It's funny, Benson, because I used to live in a rural area in Saskatchewan, and whenever I saw the word junction, that's often what they use in areas that have very, very little activity.
So you have to. What I would do here is I would make the comp zone larger. And as you can see, like, this is a big house for the area. So most everything else in this area is going to be smaller, which makes it hard to comp. Like, there's not a lot of homogeneity when you look in these rural areas because there's not subdivisions. Subdivisions is what makes it easy to comp because the builder goes in and they build a lot of houses that are the same, and that makes it really easy to comp. But when you go rural, there aren't subdivisions, and so people build their own houses. When they build their own houses, they're not like very similar. Look at the wide range of square footage there and the wide range of bedrooms and bathrooms.
Year built as well, lot size. We have some with 600,000 square foot lot built in 1840, all the way down to like 10,000 square foot lot, 1976. We even have a couple of 2022s here.
So some newer construction. It's all over the board.
Yeah.
Wow.
With things like this, my question would be, like, even if you do put a price on it and you do contract it, who are you going to sell it to?
Right.
Like, we could try to put a number on it, but personally, in my opinion, like, things that are this rural, I don't even try to put a number on. Let me pull up the zip code here. What is it?
25442.
Okay, 25442. 25442. What I want to see is how many buyers are buying in that area. Here, you know what? We're gonna start from scratch.
You're gonna want to reset that. Yeah.
25442. Okay. Yeah, there's no flippers. Nobody's really flipping in the jungle here.
Try maybe there's landlords. So go to the filter and change it to go to the very bottom. Also, okay, click
uncheck sold, right?
You can click sold. No, you want sold.
Okay.
You can click all of them. Active, pending, under contract. You unchecked fix and flip. Okay, so that's good. And then go down and go to absentee owner in the quick filters. There you go. And then do timeline all. Click timeline all.
Okay.
So those are all the landlords there. So if you're gonna do a wholesale strategy in 25442 in West Virginia, your buyers are gonna have to be landlords. So the main thing you're gonna focus on, Jacob, is rents. Will a property cash flow? Can it make money? I'm not sure if this is like a destination for for people to go on vacation. So possibly short-term rentals would be one of the things you're going to look at as well, but it's not going to be flippers.
Mm-hmm. I mean, gosh, yeah, if somebody took someone down here, the days on market would be really, really high, because I don't think people just seek out to go live in the rural area that often.
Yeah, this one's challenging.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you can't do it, but again, you got to pick your battles. And like you said, is there demand there? And in general, there's not a whole lot of demand. So could you do a deal there? You probably could do one, but it's going to take a lot of time and money. And then you're going to have a challenge doing the next one and the next one after that. So, weigh that when you're picking the areas that you're going to go and look for deals. And just because somebody sends you a deal doesn't mean you have to spend a bunch of time analyzing it. You can get trapped analyzing all the stuff that comes across your desk because you feel like you need a deal. That's what we do. But you're going to have the ability to close a lot more deals, get better comps, understand your numbers if you choose a high investor activity area.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. We got a couple people here in the side chat that I just want to acknowledge. Good morning, Reggie. Reggie is so amazing. Every single day he posts about the live streams coming up. Even today, he posts about the live stream coming up. I think his copy on the post was something like, if you've ever tried multiple different softwares and struggled, you need to come check out this live stream with Nathan Harris and Benson. They're going to go over Privy, etc. So thanks, very
Reggie.
grateful for Reggie. And
Amazing.
He actually has Privy as well. He got Privy, and he's been crushing the same strategy, just going on, finding on-market deals, putting them into your system, comping, offering, turning those into agent relationships that will bring you more deals. And then we got awesome. Joe. What up, Joe? How you doing?
What's going on, Joe?
Yo, it's Matt Duke, bro. Matt Duke he's dope.
That's awesome.
He is top dog. Matt says probably needs to be in a market of 500,000 plus population. If you can't find comps, neither can your buyers. And that means builders aren't fixing and flipping there. Yeah, dude, I agree. If you struggle to find comps, your buyers are going to struggle to find comp, and they're going to be like, do I really want to do this deal? Do I want to risk this money?
That quote right there is solid. Like, if I want to get that as a tattoo and just put it across my chest. If you can't find comps, neither can your buyers.
You know what I do? When I give free underwriting, I put no comps, no deal. So like people will push me. I'll give them free underwriting, and my response will be no comps, no deal. They'll be like, but just like give me the best comp. It's like, no, like it's no comps, no deal. I'm not gonna put some random really far out comp on it, just try to justify it. It's not worth going after if there's no comps.
100%. But again, I will say that, is it possible to get a deal done here? You might stumble into one. And here's the thing too. Sometimes buyers are, they need deals too. So sometimes they'll do a deal just for the sake of doing it, so they can keep their crews busy, or because they just need to get like a little bit of cash flow going. They have the velocity of cash they have to worry about. And so you might stumble in a deal because a buyer is just so desperate for a deal. But there's not going to be any consistency there. And nobody's in this business to do one or two deals.
Totally.
Because
Danny,
we're talking about Privy here, but this is a lot mostly about the business of wholesaling. Like we're demonstrating the business of wholesaling here using Privy, and it will help you in a lot of these things. But these concepts that Nathan is teaching you guys is going to make everything so much easier for you.
I agree. Yeah, we've touched on way more than just Privy here. We've touched on some pretty foundational things like picking your market, comping, whether if there's no deals, if there's no comps, there's no buyers, being efficient, optimizing your workflows. We got this.
Danny wants to find buyers in Miami.
Yeah.
So Danny, real quickly, when Nathan clicked that button that says fix and flip, there's 168,000 buyers. Every one of those people is a buyer. That's what Privy has the power of doing for you, is showing you all of the fix and flip buyers. And then what we just did in that zip code in West Virginia is we showed you all of the landlord buyers. So two ways, fix and flippers and landlords. And it doesn't matter whether or not that's cash. Like I just want to recommend for everybody out there who's like so stuck on this word cash buyers. And I love your opinion on this, Nathan. People love to say, oh, I need cash buyers. Who cares whether or not it's cash or not? It's just buyers.
As long as
most
they perform,
people that are doing deals aren't using cash. They're using other people's money.
I totally agree with you, Benson. Especially when you start to get into sub 2 and whatnot. Like now you're dealing with a lot of people that aren't cash buyers. You're dealing with, people that are purchasing lease options and whatnot. More creative buyers that are definitely leveraging other people's money. And I don't even think, I think like maybe 5% of my deals they actually purchase solely for cash. The other 95%, they're using hard money at the minimum.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So there's a lot of fix and flips here. Let's pull it up. So Danny says, how would Privy help me find buyers in Miami, and how many are buying / flipping in this area? So do you want just Miami? I can show you just Miami. Let's narrow it down a little bit.
Just circle that area, bro.
Yeah, should we go the whole Tri-County?
Well, you can step it up, right? So 137 in just Miami proper. But when people say Miami, they really mean the greater Miami area.
Okay, boom. Let's do it. Let me circle. So we're going to go the Tri-Counties, which is like the pretty much greater Miami. Boom. 2,750 in the past year. And we can get more specific. So like what I like to do is I like to blast the last month, because if you're blasting the data of the last month, those are people that just sold a flip and they're like desperate. They're like, I need another project right now. And those people respond to me really, really well. I wanna just see how many of those were in the last month. 173 that were actively flipped in the last month. So these are 173 people that just finished a project that are like, please, somebody call me with a deal. I need to 1031 my money into something else. Otherwise, I'm going to have to pay taxes. These people are like desperate for a deal. So when you call them, they're going to be very receptive.
You're right. So you can take those 173 people, and like you're doing here, you could export those, right?
I used up all my downloads.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I was about to, but whoops.
So just so you know, if you're wondering, you guys, you get 10,000 downloads per month for no additional charge with Privy. Nathan is a madman, so he's already gone over his 10,000 here, and it's only 11 days into July.
Yeah, I blast a lot. I actually today we have a deal under contract. We put it under contract like 2-3 days ago. And I had Ernesto go in and pull all the buyers in that area so that we can be like, so, and he pulls all the buyers whenever we have a deal under contract. He'll pull the buyers for like up to 12 months back in that area so that we can blast all of them and be like, hey, we got this deal under contract. Are you interested in it? And it helps us try to get them sold. Usually when we're just doing like broad outreach, we'll just like stay up to date with the last 12 months. But whenever we have a deal in an area, we'll go deep in that area. We'll go really far back, like up to 12 months back, and just hit all those buyers and be like, hey, we just got this one. Wanted to see if you'd be interested. We're not able to take it down.
So what do you mean by blast them? What's like the process? So here, if you downloaded this list, what do you do next?
Yeah, here, let me show you. I got to be careful when I show because I don't want to show people's contact info. Actually, I don't think I'm prepped enough to like give you guys a live demo because YouTube doesn't like it when I show contact info.
Yeah.
So I got to make sure I prep properly.
Well,
but
just talk us through it.
Yeah. So what I would do is I would put them into my CRM. So I'll download a spreadsheet. I'll send it to my skip tracer to skip trace them all. And then I'll end up with property address, company name, the person's name, and the person's phone number. I'll put that into my CRM and I'll put them on what I call my buyer bot, which is an AI bot that replicates my personality, reaches out to them, and collects their buying criteria. It's super freaking awesome. So it'll reach out and it'll say something like, actually, I can even let you guys talk with it if you want. Let me put the keyword in the chat for you guys to talk, just so you can see exactly what it's like.
You have an AI bot that's doing this work for you.
Yeah, I have an AI bot that reaches out to them, collects their buying criteria and whatnot. So down at the bottom of the screen, guys, I actually put it, it says text buyer bot or AC AI or wholesaler AI to 813-437-1709. You can text with these bots yourself so you can demo them and whatnot. I'd recommend text the buyer bot because you want to see exactly what I'm talking about. Text the buyer bot. So text BUYER space BOT to 813-437-1709, and you'll actually be able to understand what the conversation flow is like. So this bot will reach out to them. Hey, contact first name. I saw you just, hey, contact first name. My name is user first name. I saw that you flipped property address. It looks great. I have another deal coming in the area. Are you still buying? And then they'll respond, yes, I am. And then my bot will respond differently for each person, but it'll pretty much go through 4 pre-qualifying questions. Great. What area? What price range? What property type? There's another pre-qualifying question, but it's slipping my mind. But it'll ask the necessary pre-qualifying questions to determine their buying criteria. And then after that, I just send my virtual assistant in. I'm like, hey, just give the conversation a quick read and populate their buying criteria. And it saves us so much time.
That is insane. I remember
it's pretty
a couple months back, you were like giving that away. Is that still a thing, or do you sell it now, or what's going on with that?
I do give it away. So when I give it away, there's like an instructions manual on like how to set it up for yourself. So I'm happy to give it to people for free. They have the instructions manual on how to set up for themselves. I do take on white glove people. Like some people are like, dude, my time is so valuable. Like, and I'm not really that tech savvy. Please just set it up for me. And for those people, I'll set it up, but I'm not like actively marketing that because I like wholesaling and I get distracted too much with this CRM stuff. But yeah, I give it away. And as a matter of fact, actually on July 31st, I have an AI powered masterclass in which I'm going to be going over all the different tools that I use. Privy is definitely part of that because any of these bots, like they rely on Privy, right? I can't use the buyer bot without Privy data. I need the Privy data. So I'm going to be going over how I pull lists off of Privy, how I put those lists on the buyer bot, and how I have it pre-vet the buyers on autopilot and automatically sort them, whether if they want to work with me, don't want to work with me, or if they didn't respond at all. I'm also going to go over the acquisitions AI bot. So how I have an AI bot that reaches out to agents, determines if they want to work with investors, and if they do, builds a relationship and puts them on an infinite follow-up campaign. The wholesaler AI bot, which reaches out to wholesalers, determines if they are better on the acquisitions or the disposition side, determines their level of competency, and puts them on an infinite follow-up campaign. And I'm also, it's in the beta stages right now, but it'll be released by the time that I do the AI masterclass. I'm creating a direct-to-seller bot as well. So as a matter of fact, later today, I'm going to be releasing the keyword for the direct-to-seller bot so that people can go and break my bot for me. So yeah, a whole bunch of things, advanced data analytics as well. So I'm going to be showing you guys how I use ChatGPT and advanced data analytics to sort and organize my buyers list. So for example, Benson helped me get a really, really big history of buyers in Florida. And I'm like, okay, now I want to be very intentional on how I blast these buyers, right? Because there's a really big list. I want to make sure that I'm talking to the ones that are buying the most. I want to make sure that I'm understanding what are the hottest areas and a couple other questions that I had. So I would upload that list to ChatGPT and I would do some advanced data analytics so that I can be most efficient when reaching out to these buyers.
What is ChatGPT going to do for you when you say you upload it? Like what is it doing to that list?
Imagine a brain that was so powerful that it could read an entire huge spreadsheet of like 20,000 records and understand like, okay, how many occurrences did this person show up on the list? Okay, what areas are the most people purchasing in? Okay, maybe some streets, like for example in Jacksonville, they spell things in all capitals in Jacksonville and it's really weird. Let's make that all proper title format rather than all capitals. And pretty much any other question. So it's like a really, really intelligent brain that can understand the entire spreadsheet and make observations throughout the entire spreadsheet.
That is crazy.
As well as restructure and push it out restructured.
And that's one of the standard features and functionality that ChatGPT has is analyzing spreadsheets.
Yeah, and another thing that I do with ChatGPT is I actually export all of my buyers from my Go High level. I'll export all my buyers and I'll put it into ChatGPT and then I'll put the new list that I downloaded. So every single month I download a new list and I blast those buyers. I'll take that new list plus my old list and I'll say, please tell me anybody that is on the old list and the new list and give me a list of just the people that are not on the old list. And what that does for me is that saves my virtual assistant from skip tracing the same people over and over again.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. And so you're doing this class on the 31st.
Yeah, July 31st. It's on my Facebook, on my YouTube. I'm going to be live streaming it on Instagram as well. And as a matter of fact, I actually I have this $1,000 Amazon gift card giveaway that I'm doing to increase registrants.
So just registering gives them a chance to get $1,000 gift card to Amazon. And why would you do that?
Because I want to. Okay, so everybody has selfish intent, right? Let's talk about selfish intent. Even if you give something to charity, there's still selfish intent involved. My selfish intent through this event is I want to go viral, right? I want to be spread all across the real estate investment communities. Through creating these digital products, I get more well-known. I get a bigger audience on social media, which establishes a higher social credibility, which lets me help more people. And when I help more people, I make more money because I can sell their deals. So for example, with this $1,000 Amazon gift card giveaway, there's a couple of different ways that you can get entered into it. Number one is save it to your calendar and you're going to get one entry. And then you have, like me on Facebook, follow me on my Facebook profile as well. Follow me on Instagram, join the Rise Stars Discord community, subscribe to me on YouTube. And then another one, and this is really, really cool, you can get 5 times the entries if you share it to your audience and somebody joins. So let's say, for example, we have this guy named Legend. He's at the top of the leaderboards right now. He's been sharing it with all of his friends, and he keeps getting five additional entries every single time one of his friends saves it to their calendar. So it's kind of like it helps me go viral.
That's insane. So how many registrations do you have now for that event that's in like 3 weeks?
Let me check. Gleam.
I'm just curious.
Let's see here. Preview. We have 1,179 entries. And it's a little bit difficult to know exactly how many registrants because there's a couple of different platforms. Like we have like the Facebook event. We have like 280 people on the Facebook event that said I'm going. And then we have like the Gleam event where like people are saving it to their calendar. That's 1,179 people. So my goal is to help over 1,000 plus people. And then through helping them, you know, they're obviously going to talk. They're going to be like, hey, Nathan's super dope. AI guy, send him your deals. He's obviously really credible. He built this crazy buyer bot. He uses Privy data, et cetera, et cetera.
Amazing, man. Well,
Yeah.
you still got almost 3 weeks to increase that. I bet you get close to 3,000 registrations.
Ooh, 3,000. Yeah. Please,
Well, you're already
guys,
over
please.
1,000, and it's barely even like started. So if you guys aren't already registered, how do they register for that?
So in the description on my YouTube videos, there is a link in the description, but I will also actually post the link here in the comment section. Let me pop that in the comments. There you go. And Benson, I'll put it in the private chat here because I can comment to my audience, but not yours. So there is a link here, and you just go in and you register. So let me show you what that looks like. It'll come up like this, AI Wholesaling Masterclass, and then you can just go through the steps. So looks like I've already gone through the steps, so I can't really do it again, but you'll add it to your calendar, right? And then you'll register it on Facebook, and then you'll join the Rising Stars Discord community. And this is really, really cool, this Rising Stars. I've been pouring my heart into this. Every single day, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do a meditation / mindset, and then we go into like Q&A and accountability. So that is literally every single day at 6 p.m. Then subscribe on YouTube, follow on Instagram, follow on Twitch. And this is the 5 times multiplier. Every single time you refer a friend with your link, you're going to get 5 additional entries for each friend that joins. So if you share it to your social media and your friend joins, you get 5 entries for them joining. If another friend joins, you get another 5 entries. And that's how you really hack the system and hedge your bets to get that $1,000 Amazon gift card.
So this link right here will know that I referred somebody.
Yep. Yeah. So on the back end, I get like the leaderboards. So I'll be able to see like who, their contact info, and how many entries they have. So like right now, there's a really cool kid. He's 17 years old. He keeps trying to get set up. He keeps being encumbered by not having an LLC yet. But he's going really, really hard. $1,000 Amazon gift card, and I'm pretty sure I know why. It's because he wants the startup funds. So he's been referring it to all his friends. I think he's gotten like 25 plus referrals already, and he's sitting at number 1 right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how does that link know that I referred somebody and somebody else didn't? Like, how does it know that?
Oh, dude, you know what? My apologies. I didn't have the screen share going. Okay, so here's what you're going to be greeted with. So you're going to be greeted with 7 ways to enter. Add it to your calendar, and you get 1 entry. Register for the masterclass on Facebook, and you get 2 entries. Join the Rising Stars community, and you get another entry. Subscribe on YouTube, and you get another entry. Follow on Instagram, you get another entry. Follow on Twitch, you get another entry. And then refer a friend, you get a custom link right here. So like, for example, this is my custom link. And if I share that custom link, then I'm going to get 5 entries for every person that signs up using my custom link.
So I'm looking at mine, and it just shows me 1 way to enter.
That's because the first one is mandatory. So after you do the first one, then it opens up for everything else.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, so it's mandatory for you to add it to your calendar before you can do the additional entries.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And Benson, you know what's really cool about this, and I bet you this can help you with some of your events in the future, is there's no like hacking the system here. Pretty much you have to follow on Facebook, you have to follow on YouTube, Instagram, and if you don't follow, it won't register. And on the back end, it'll actually mark it as invalid.
Well, just this Gleam thing is such a huge takeaway from this. I didn't even know about this.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel like we kind of
Amazing.
went on a tangent there, but yeah, Privy. Privy is awesome, bro. I'm Benson. You know, I probably say it over and over again till your ears fall off, but I am so incredibly grateful for you and the Privy team. Thank you for, you know, all your efforts sticking it out. How long ago was it that Privy like first was originated?
Over 10 years ago.
Over 10
Over 10
years.
years ago.
You
Oh
stuck it
yeah.
out. You were consistent. You had faith.
We did. You're right. And I will say that my business partner Scott Fall,
Mhm.
I don't know if you've met Scott or you talked to Scott, but he is really the brainchild of Privy. Um, and he works with the development team every single day to add more features, more functionality. Our development team was just one person way back when. It was Doug Hayes, who's here in Colorado. And now there's a good like 7 people on the dev team now, which is insane to think about. So they're constantly adding in new MLS markets, right? Because we're the only platform that has that direct to MLS data on scale.
Mhm.
Um, so we've got somebody who works in that department who's working compliance 24/7 so that we can have the best data. People don't understand how the difference is between analyzing a property in say like West Virginia, like we did earlier, where we got street views and it's third party and it's county record and public record data, comparing that to the experience you had in Miami, where it's direct to MLS. You've got the photos, right? Which think about which the you kind of just skipped over it earlier, but when you were looking at the quality of the renovation in a property, like that makes a huge difference. And if you don't have
Totally.
photos, you can't see that,
Yeah.
right? And then also in many states, which are non-disclosure states, like Texas, like you're not going to actually have the actual price that a property sold
Mhm.
for because they consider it a privacy issue. And the only reason that why we can show it is because it's a closed system. It isn't a publicly facing system. You have to have a Privy account that you pay for to be able to
Mm.
access that data and be
Oh,
privy to that information.
wow. No way. So if you're on Zillow, you straight up don't get a sold price in Texas, but if you're on Privy, you get the sold price.
Right.
Wow. I'm not in Texas, so I didn't know that, but that is a lot of value right there.
Mm-hmm. Non-disclosure states are a real challenge. And even in many MLSs in certain states, they might have photos up for a little bit and then they pull them down because they don't want that information out there. So it's a huge difference in the quality and the timeliness of the data so that you can properly analyze a property and understand what's actually happening on the ground in those markets.
Wow. That is it's pretty amazing. You know, it sounds like there's been a lot and a lot of work gone into Privy. 10 years worth of work. I know a lot of people, you know, on the surface, they don't see how much time and effort goes into building something like this. But Benson, holy moly, I am so grateful for you and everybody on the Privy team for sticking it out and, you know, pushing through and building such a powerful software because I mean, you guys saw today, right? There's like a total of like 40-ish thousand dollars worth of total assignment fees generated through Privy. And those are just transactions that I were involved with in the last month, right? Think about how many people aren't showing their HUDs that are making a lot of money. There's so many more people. So you're truly providing so much value to many different people from, you know, helping wholesalers get paid, helping agents get paid, helping flippers make money, helping, you know, neighborhoods get redeveloped, helping contractors have jobs, which then they take that money and then they go and they feed their kids and right through purchasing groceries to feed their kids. You know, you're helping cashiers get jobs and it just provides so much to the economy. I know that's like my nerdy brain just understanding like
I've
the
never thought
velocity
about
of
it that way, man, but you just like described the butterfly effect of Privy to me that I hadn't thought about. Like you're right, there's so many other people involved in those transactions that are benefiting. It isn't just the person who actually has the subscription.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's break it down from the top, right? Let's say um Nathan wholesales a deal, right? So now Nathan got paid. Nathan's going to go spend that money on groceries, rent, etc. That groceries, that's providing a job for somebody in the grocery store. They're taking that money, they're spending it on their kids, and so on and so forth. The rent, right? That's stimulating the economy. That's causing more active rentals in the rental market. So that's just Nathan there, and you could go multiple steps. Then you have the flipper, right? The flipper is now taking a crummy property and they're rejuvenating. They're a residential redeveloper, right? So they're now taking unsafe properties, making them safe and making them beautiful, stimulating the economy even more. They're paying contractors, which are then spending that money on their family, their friends and whatnot, which is then stimulating the economy even more. That new home buyer is purchasing a home and now they're able to have a safe, beautiful place for their family to live. So it's quite the butterfly effect that you cause. And you do it on such a vast scale. I mean, just my HUDs from last month is so insignificant compared to the amount of HUDs that there are out there of people that are using Privy to close more deals.
That's amazing, man. I really appreciate you breaking it down for us. And I'll make sure to share this with the team too. Everybody is so heads down and working hard every single day. And, we're so close to this that we don't get to see the benefit all the time and how it's affecting so many lives. So thank you for sharing that. I really do.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And I love Jacob. I just want to acknowledge Jacob here in the side chat. Somebody was asking what's the total cost of running the AI bots and whatnot. And it's a little bit complicated and I didn't want to go on too much of a tangent, but Jacob is breaking it all down in the side chat. So I'm super grateful for you doing that. Thank you, bro.
Yeah. Thanks, Jacob.
Yeah. I didn't want to get on a tangent again.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. So Danny, I just want to let you know. So I give my snapshot for free. I'm not going to pay for your high level subscription. That's your responsibility. I give my template for it for free, and then all the setup instructions. So I'm giving my intellectual property to you guys. But of course, you have to pay for your texting. You have to skip trace your own stuff. That's all normal business expenses. But I'm giving you my intellectual property, my template that I've built, and I'm giving you the instructions on how to set up the AI bots. So that's what I give out for free, just to make sure that I'm pretty clear on that.
Awesome.
Yeah. Benson, mucho gratitude. Any
yes, man.
Anything you want to leave the audience with?
This is just amazing. I really like how you pull back the curtain and you're just showing people what you're doing every day. You're showing them the real life experiences of somebody who's in the trenches doing wholesaling. And you guys, it's one of those things where there's so many challenges in life. We're all busy, we're all distracted. But if you really just buckle down and you join these calls with Nathan and you join his mindset calls, you can do this. Anybody here can do this. And you saw some of those HUDs, people may say, 3750. That's not you're not going to retire off of that, but that's just one deal. And there are other HUDs that Nathan probably has from last month where it's $10,000 or $20,000 on an assignment fee. And that all averages out over the year. And I guarantee you, if you just, follow Nathan, take his advice, get inspired by what he's doing, you will absolutely be able to do this business. It's so cool. It's so inspiring, Nathan, what you're doing. And I can't believe that you share this all with people for free.
Thank you, Benson. I really, 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 really am very grateful and appreciative of that acknowledgement. It's funny to mention pulling back the curtain and just doing it publicly. I have one more example of how Privy is so essential, and I'm just so passionate about Privy because of how much they help me make a lot of money. I like making money, and Privy helps, so I love talking about Privy. But I have my VA inputting leads from Privy. And yesterday, through the structure of my team and having my VA inputting the leads from Privy, having my underwriter underwriting them, and having me just pummeling the phones all day long, I did a 9-hour and 40-minute live stream, and I got 40 written offers out on that live stream. And it's literally on my YouTube, and the proof is in the pudding. 9 hours and 40 minutes, 40 offers. And I was sharing my screen and making the calls live, and everybody gets to see it. So, like, if it wasn't for Privy, if it wasn't for these softwares that we're using, like, that's just something that wouldn't be doable. It wouldn't be possible. So I'm so grateful for the role that Privy plays in making that happen.
That's insane. 9 hours of anything is a long time, but 9 hours of just hustling your face off and getting deals done is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Thank you, Benson.
Awesome,
thank you.
man. Well, thank you for being such a huge advocate of Privy and just, you know, everything you're doing for the community is amazing. So you guys make sure you follow Nathan on his socials, and register for the event that's on the 31st. You got to be there. There's $1,000 on the line if you don't. So make sure you register for that and be there.
Absolutely. Thank you, Benson.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
You want to say the goodbye to everybody? You want to end the call?
Yeah, you guys, thanks so much for taking the time to be here with Nathan and I. Really just grateful for everybody taking the time and all the comments and everything. But have a great week, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Adios.